Hello, welcome to Reframing Mindset Podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day.
Hey, welcome back to the Free Podcast. So, this, uh, this episode, we're going to talk about driving and stuff like that. I know driving. I said at this point in the audience, so buying stuff and talk about quality versus quantity and stuff. And all this, I try to get my dream car. But I say after a while, I have to think about the dream car and become a normal a car that. But you know, when I reach this far, and I realize the hurdles the OTS have to be avoiding just to reach another level, healthy. You understand the reason why there are luxury brands and basic brands. Why why you have uh in every industry, revolutionary industry, you have the basic brands and you have the luxury brands, you have name brands, you have the basic and stuff like that. What? It's something like you do something like a prove a concept and say, okay, yes, we can out there supply or we can out there so drive. But yeah, I just like everything. Oh, we can also read. No, we have to have people that can't see, braille, all these stuff, people that speak this. I speak this, I just people that driving and all these stuff. Given my circumstance to read, I'm going to understand now. I talk about previous episode about vacation industry after I have everything counteract industry. And by the end of this year, all that gets done. All that gets solved and boom, boom like that. Yeah, for the third year. I don't want a ship coming out there. All that need to do is do this. But me in the fourth year now, when I'm going to fifth year ownership and say all they need to do. But you actually need to go to what I would actually say that you actually need to go to the first start, go to stuff, why that 40 actually 40. The same thing with the cars. So boom, I have the limited thing with my limited thing with my and what I may realize now if I'm actually go car testing and all. So I'm sure now, just like if I go to the doctor and explain my situation, if I go to the car dealership and tell them like well they actually did that. Well, it's obvious, but you have to regurgitate yourself. Try to tell them my situation now. They actually can give me the perfect car. Our car that what would happen is that the car that I want the dream car, the Tesla. But boom, I'm not reaching a level where I can afford a Tesla. That's it. Even know how to maintain a car or anything like that much. But given my situation, if I go to the dealership and stuff like that, the car is not the car that I dream of. But the person will be so will after go there know exactly the car to give me with my budget and everything to give me to say, hey, I will not it's not a car that I will love, but I will be come to appreciate car because it solves every single one of my problem that I will be complaining about and stuff like it's like one of those stuff where you be like, yo, our industry is me to actually solve another problem. I'm gonna go there, going to the car dealership and want the nice fancy car to impress the ladies and all this stuff. But hey, given my circumstances, a lady I won't be trying stuff like so it's like basic stuff where we like, yeah. I want the perfect car that I actually need. The car that I want is not the car that what I want. Yeah, that's the basic stuff. Will be like, yeah, you're gonna go to the dealership on it and stuff. But like, yeah, sometimes I actually just come in and respect the flow process actually reaching those levels. That, yeah, it's not the car that I want, but you're going, and you know why they are well, these are enthusiasts, enthusiasts. Like, yeah, there are people that actually go to these events and do this stuff religiously because what there are people out there that have these problems, and and that's the reason why I talk about in the next episode. I talk about salespeople, talk about life insurance. Every day, people coming around to give your life to God, give your life to God, and all this stuff. Maybe you're not, at the point you're not ready to give your life to God yet, but they're always there for some reason. Or no, like you're going to a company. I think you you're going to a company, and a company been there. The company does it. That's why some the good and bad about it. The company has been there before you and will be there after you. And what will happen is that boom, you go into this company, feel that you're out here, so feel that this company, they're out here so preaching to you and telling you that you're the best person ever. Yo, to join this company is a privilege to join this company. But at the same time, bro, if you were to go away, bro, they move on past you long time. And that's the good and bad thing about it. Yeah, they so the same thing about God and stuff like person out here so preaching about you that you see a man preaching about coming to God. As I say, I have pastor turn so I have out there preaching to God, preaching to turn a Christian. Well, I did for 40 years, and couldn't get one. And then one person that come in and say, young and fresh. And I convert them like, whoa. Convert people like, whoa. I said, it one of them is not wrong. One of them is not wrong, but it's like you're there for a certain reason. They're for certain reason. But like the person that 40-year-old trying to convert. I've been trying to convert for 40 years. He's just not that person. So you have to actually just keep on they try to convert that person until reach the goal. So same thing again with the with the car, yeah, and sales people. That's always telling you sales pitch. Is that they're not wrong. Is that they're not wrong. It's just that at the point in time, what they are saying is makes sense, but at this time I could not afford that stuff. Just like I say, okay, in the third year of home ownership or stuff like that. Everything I said makes sense until I reached the fourth year where I realized, okay, boom. Ah, okay, I unlock the home now. I'm going to eat food and all these stuff. I could not balance work or eating food or going to that or paying the bills, vehicle, vehicle, pay the bills, not vehicle, pay the bills. All these things, all these stuff running into the that is just going to the fourth. So the fourth year, I said, is very much possible I could do that. But how actually I want to do something. It's like, it's just this thing about, okay, I forgot topic. But I was, I forgot the topic. I say a 40-year home ownership, bro. It's like, things out there so it make sense at one level. Make, or, no. Boom. You see the end process. You see the journey. You see the end process. And like, makes sense just like that. Make it, you see, so boom, you see. I show you the graduation picture. Show my graduation picture and be like, oh my God, I graduated from prestigious university. But the podcast give you the journey. why I understand why I ended up. There's a little. No, you're here. No, you're here. No, what you're saying the your ownership, full ownership, and everything makes sense. Everything makes sense, perfect sense last year. And that's the thing about it. That everything makes sense last year. Nothing changes now. Nothing changes. But everything that you said makes sense last year until I got richer this year. I realized that there's like, oh my god, all this stuff doesn't make sense now. It makes sense, but hey, you can afford to get the premium version of it now. That's the same thing with the car stuff, where boom, me out this got that have the license for so many years, bro. Why the hell I haven't driven? Because of the way I got the license. 5 years just to find out that my whole license period, just to figure out. Yeah. So I could actually go on and maybe direct go and get the license. Yeah. 100% guarantee that. But I could tell them. I could actually tell them, oh, that's what I actually did. So that's the same thing again with a home purchase. I can't tell how to purchase a home, but I can actually tell how to reach this far. Ownership, you know, and it took all of that to reach this level. I can I could tell how I can tell how to get the stocks. I can tell how to get insurance. I can tell how I ain't no expert. I ain't no expert yet. But I'm better than the person that doesn't have it. I'm better than the person that doesn't have it. So I'm better than the third year owner. But you know, after that was second home by working a year and all. I can tell about the credit card. You know, I can do all these stuff. I can do a lot of these. But that's the thing where we like, yo, you you complete you reach a level, and that's what happens, that you reach a level, and that level becomes a luxury where where you can't even remember how the level was. Like, not really, like, you're complaining about the level, and you can't that's the thing. You can't remember how the level was, bro. That's how far you reach. We'll be like, that's the reason why I say you're complaining. You become the 99% in a certain level, and then the 1% in a certain level. That's why they call it first world problem, bro. Growing up, I've always been first world problem, bro. You're like, okay, so complain about something. It's like, oh my. And that's why they call it a prestigious university, or a prestigious high school, or a prestigious thing, you know, because the unprestigious person would not be able to handle what is so prestigious. Yeah, yeah. So that that's it. That's what they call it, special ed, bro. Yeah, they call it special ed. They call it special education. Uh, and that's the thing about, I think, rappers, bro. Rappers. I guess so actually, I think it's obvious. I would say it's obvious, but it's not obvious. I say a rapper could be a person that, like, yeah, those high school dropout now. High school brother, they make the university. You go to university and then you come back, you see them, and you see them. You don't see the years that they struggle. You come in and see the years that they're bad. But you graduate university now, and you will say boom, and you will say boom. You're experiencing the same thing that you know, high school person. I said, life is a circle. Like, life is a circle. I say a person come back and experience the same thing that you wrote this experience back in our university. And so boom. The same thing that I was experiencing my universe, my college day, come back. I then see somebody now in my high school days now that say, okay, no college for me and all this stuff. Come in and say, bro, get a work and all this stuff. Show your worth and all this stuff. I'm always complaining about the real feel like about the real and all this. And it's like, yo, he wasn't wrong, because he wasn't wrong. Or they weren't wrong. But after you actually have to go through the process and be like, oh yeah, that's actually reached. I mean, you have to actually reach or no, you're privileged enough. So when a person coming out and say, "Oh, company, oh my God, I did not go to university," or or the great person would say, "Oh, boom, all I did just read a book. I know I'm the great person." Yeah, that's it. Nothing is wrong with that. Don't read, So so that's the thing. Sometimes there's certain industry that's come back just humble you and be like, oh, but then I did like the same thing again with the driving thing where I I talk about there's an industry that solve the problem for each industry now. Some OTS a boom, and first OTS are coming out and driving. And it's like it just become another driver. So it's like, it just become another driver. Nothing changes. Back in back in my high school days, something that would be revolutionary. I have to realize that it was a revolution. It's not revolutionary, it's just that you wasn't enthusiastic about it at the time. That wasn't your thing. You didn't care about that. But no, you reach a point where, yeah, I'm living way too far. The load that I actually need to learn about cars. So it's not cars. So that's like, oh, somebody got me excited about cars. I actually tired of walking. So I have to actually start learn how to actually get a car. I have to go through the process now. And they care one thing about politics. Somebody got me interested in politics. Oh my god! Then now I actually learned so much about it. But then actually I got bored. But no, I'm an adult. And that's the thing, out here is interesting. And that's why I have specialists in certain stuff and not specialists. Yo, you have specialists, you have enthusiasts, you have that's why you have the spectators and the players. That's the simple. Spectators and the players. And nothing is wrong. And at certain levels, you're gonna be like, there's nothing wrong with but then you have to come in and be a player. But spectator, I think spectator always have the most until the audience in the driving seat. But and this is a new level that we are unlocking our fourth year. Home ownership, and then the thing is now given my situation, what I realized is that the different type careers are luxury, so why they are building why I bet when I buy one stuff, they you give the people opportunity to build a better stuff. So boom. When me go out now find a way to actually rent my first car, drive the first car. But actually give me enough time to actually test it out. So, given my situation, this was my experience with this. So, so this is now the thing now. That actually with the car, then they're going to start by all my fancy cars, and be like, oh my god. And then I have compound interest, So just buying like 10 million cars per year. Uh, yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for listening, and look forward for the next episode.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.